dear students, welcome you to the first session of Class 6 History. Today we are going to learn Chapter 1. Let's start. The name of the first chapter is What, Where, How and When. It is an introductory chapter that teaches the fundamentals of history. From this chapter we will learn how we have known our past. Here are some questions such as what to know, where it happened, how was their life, and when it happened. What can we know about the past? When we ask what, we focus on what kind of food was eaten, the type of clothes they wore, and the houses in which they lived. We can find out about the lifestyle of different people, such as hunters, farmers, rulers, merchants, priests, and scientists. Second important question is where. Where did people live? Earliest people lived along the banks of the Narmada river. They were skilled gatherers. They collected roots, fruits, and other forest produce for their food. Sometimes they also hunted animals. People began to grow crops like wheat and barley in Suleiman and Kildar hills around 8,000 years ago. Agriculture developed in the Garo hills to the northeast and the Vindhyas in central India. The place where rice was first grown are to the north of the Vindhya hills. About 4,700 years ago, some of the earliest cities developed along the banks of Indus River. About 2,500 years ago, cities developed on the banks of Ganga. This led to the rise of Magadha kingdom at the southern area of Ganga river. Now it is lying in the state of Bihar. Next part is traveling of people. People traveled all over the subcontinent. Why? Common people moved in search of livelihood or to escape from natural disasters. Sometimes armies marched to conquer others' lands. Merchants traveled from place to place for trade. Religious teachers walked to spread religion. Some people travel to discover new and exciting places. And what were the impact of traveling? Traveling of people led to the sharing of ideas between people. Let's see the important points. The movement of people enriched our cultural traditions. They have shared new ways of carving stones and composing music. It helps the people to understand new ways of cooking food. Next part is names of the land. India and Bharat are two words used for our country. The word India comes from the Indus, also called Sindhu in Sanskrit. The Iranians and the Greeks were familiar with the Indus. They called it the Hindos or the Indos. The land to the east of Indus River was called India. Another word used for our country is Bharat. How our country got the name Bharat? The name Bharata was used for a group of people who lived in the northwest. This word is mentioned in Rigveda about 3,500 years ago. Later, the word Bharat was used for entire country. Next important question is how. How we got information about the past? The two main sources of finding out about the past are manuscripts and inscriptions. The first source through which we can find out our past is reading manuscripts. The word manuscripts comes from Latin word manu, meaning hand. These were written by hand on palm leaf or bark of birch tree. The palm leaves were tied together. These books dealt with all kinds of subjects related to religion, life of kings, medicine, and science. Most of the manuscripts were written in Sanskrit, Prakrit, and Tamil languages. Next source is inscriptions. Inscriptions are writings on relatively hard surfaces such as stone or metal. In the past, when kings wanted to give orders, they used inscriptions for this purpose. It also used to record the victories in battles. These writings are in the form of scripts, which includes letters or signs. The next source which help us to understand about our past are people called archaeologists. Archaeologists study the remains of buildings, paintings, and sculptures. They explore the life of ancient people through the excavation of sites. Excavation is the act of digging under the surface of earth to find tools, weapons, pots, ornaments, and coins used in the past. Archaeologists also look for bones of animals, birds, and fish to find out what people ate in the past. One past or many. We all know that the life of people was different for different kinds of people. For example, the life of king and queen were different from other people. Even today, people follow different practices and customs in different parts of the country. For example, today the people in Andaman Island get their own food by fishing, hunting, and collecting forest produce. But the people in cities depend on others for food supply. We know about kings and their battles because they kept records of their victories. But we don't know more about ordinary people in the past because they didn't keep the records of what they did. What do dates mean? The dates tell us when an event happened. The years are counted from the date assigned to the birth of Jesus Christ. All dates before the birth of Christ are counted backwards and use the letters BC, which stands for before Christ. Sometimes BCE is also used instead of BC. The letters BCE stands for before Common Era. The dates after the birth of Jesus have the letters AD. The letters AD stands for Anno Domini, which means the year of Lord. CE is also used instead of AD. It stands for Common Era. Dear students, let's conclude the first chapter. It is a pure introduction to understand the concepts of history which will be learned in following lessons. You can subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thank you.